here to celebrate many years of a very, complex process. So let's hear it for the communities, government, and Metro who work together to bring us to this day. And I have to say, over the years, I have come to know so many Metro people. It's kind of, you're all part of our community now. My name's Chris Ihara. I am the transit chair of the Little Community Council, and I'm LTCC for me. And I'm also, I'm the co-chair for the Regional Connector Community Leadership Council. So I'm very happy to be here today. I have been working with the various stakeholders on this project when I still had very black hair, and I had never heard of locally preferred alternative or mitigation monitoring something program. I mean, it was a learning curve. So here we are on this day. And we're going to start off with a little formality and ceremony. And then there's a full day of performances and activities. So we hope everyone will stick around. But we're going to start with an acknowledgement of the land that we stand on, a Shinto ceremony, and then the color guard and the singing of the national anthem. So I would like to introduce Sharon Gukin, who's the Metro Deputy Chief Executive Officer, who will do the land acknowledgement.
Good morning. As the Transit and Transportation Agency for Los Angeles County, Metro recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, Tataviam, Serrano, Quiche, and Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of Los Angeles County. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these ancestral lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native peoples and local tribal governments, including, in no particular order, the Fernandan Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, the Gabrielina Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians Quiche Nation, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, and the San Fernando Band of Mission Indians. Thank you.
Okay, we have today with us Reverend Uzunoi of the Conco Church of Los Angeles and of Gardena, and he will be assisted by his daughter, Reverend Amy Uzunoi Chin. She's an associate minister of the Conco Church in Portland. They will be doing a ritual, a Japanese ritual, based in the Shinto tradition. And at the conclusion, we're going to ask some of our guests to come up and participate in an offering. So we'll now please welcome, very respectfully, the Conco Church of Los Angeles.
Solemn greetings. 4 solemn claps together to open the service. Blessing rite by the head officiant, Onasa Gyoji. Main prayer for the dedication and blessing ceremony by the head officiant, representing all attendees. Let us bow our heads in prayer.
Through virtue of our Ikigami Honko Daijin, we pray to the divine parent of the universe. We sincerely pray and humbly requested by members of the Los Angeles Metro and LittleTokyo community. We come before you today to request the blessing ceremony to celebrate the opening of the regional connected transit project here in front of the Little Tokyo Art District Station. Through the regathering of this ceremony, we humbly acknowledge that we do not own the land but are an integral part of it. As earth living and breathing, so too we are to do the same here. In the Konko faith, everything is part of the universe, the part of Kami. So there are no impurities, but possible and negative energies. Through this blessings rite and the offering of the sacred evergreen branch, which will also be offered by representatives from the community. Please accept our heartfelt appreciation to you and for the love, care, and effort of so many people who made this happen. What started as a wish over 10 years ago, we now stand here, finally in really not only connected transit, but opportunity to connected culture and community together. We humbly ask you to please continue to protect and watch over everyone who will come through this station. to those friends will interested this dream, but are not longer physically here with us, we humbly gave our appreciation to you and ask you to help watch over and protect this station. Let us all strengthen our spirit with together even to give back to our community with appreciation and sincerity in everything we do. Teach our future generations to have respect for all so that we can work together to live in peace and harmony. For this, on this new day of beginnings, we so humbly pray. Thank you.
As you were. Hamaguchi Evergreen Branch offering by the officiants. Hamaguchi offering evergreen branches by representatives.
Okay, we're going to have representatives participate in this next portion. So if we could have Chief Executive Officer from Metro, Stephanie Wiggins, Supervisor Hilda Solis, Ann Burrows, Bill Watanabe, and Miguel Vargas, if you could kind of come to the front of the stage.
The three of us together.
Okay, that's fine. Proclaim acknowledgements. 4 solemn claps together to close the service. Recessional.
I'm going to bring out the Metro Color Guard and then Urban Voices who will sing the national anthem. So Urban Voices is rooted in Skid Row through music, community, and open-hearted inclusion of the most marginalized members of society. So Urban Voices will lead us in the Star-Spangled Banner. So now we will have the Color Guard. And then please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say dance that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now we have some welcome remarks. As was said, everyone may sit down now. As I said, this truly was a collaboration, government, community, and Metro. So at this time, I'd like to bring up one of our community partners, a great friend to our community, the Honorable Hilda Solis, member County Board of Supervisors, and also a member of the Metro Board.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Wasn't that an excellent performance by Urban Voices? Let's give it up for them. Representing Skid Row. Thank you. Buenos dias. Good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to see so many friends. As was said, I'm County Board of Supervisor Hilda Solis, but I happen to be very proud of also representing my district on Metro Board. And today is one of those fascinating days that here we are again in celebration with the LittleTokyo community as well as the Arts District and all of our friends and familias. So give yourselves a big round of applause. We regionally were honored to be able to open up the regional connector underground rail tunnel already this summer. And thanks to this community for your patience and wherewithal and resiliency, because you put up with a lot. It was the members of this very community who lived through the construction-related disruptions and stayed engaged throughout that entire process. For 3 years, Metro had to interrupt rail service and travel through these intersections behind us and around us to rebuild the new underground station. This is why I told Stephanie Wiggins, our CEO, Metro's Chief Executive Officer, that we needed to have a celebration with the community to honor the renewed connections that are now possible and will continue to grow. As a Metro Board Director and LA County Supervisor, minimizing construction impacts and stabilizing communities is just as important, in my opinion, as expanding our transit options. And to that end, our Metro Board established and continued to fund a business interruption fund to make grants available to small businesses in LittleTokyo and Second Broadway. Now we celebrate that more Metro riders than ever before can get to and from LittleTokyo and the Arts District from across LA County with just one single train ride. Amazing, amazing. This means people in East LA, areas that I also represent, the San Gabriel Valley, Santa Monica, Long Beach, and places in between, can get here without a car, avoiding the stress of finding parking and paying gas. And for those of you who spend weekends in this neighborhood, you know this station is a game changer. We see it on display every weekend. Being connected by seamless and affordable regional transit has been a part of this neighborhood's history and community development for such a long time. Through the early 1960s, when Los Angeles Railway traveled along First Street, we would have seen riders getting off and on yellow streetcars around here. Now, thanks to the community-vetted artworks, people getting on and off the Metro train station here are met with inspiring and powerful artworks that remind us of the rich history of the many people who have called this land their home. From the passenger platforms, I encourage you to take a close look at the 14 vibrant panels, part of the artist Audrey Chan's work titled Willpower Allegory. These larger-than-life compositions feature people and symbols who remind us of the intertwined histories of LittleTokyo, the Arts District, Skid Row, Bronzeville, and the Gabrielino and Tongva tribe. I see this station as a symbol of the rich shared history, filled with stories of perseverance and hope for a better future that can connect us all. With more transit projects on the horizon, like the East Side Extension that will connect us further east through East Los Angeles all the way to the San Gabriel Valley, to the Foothill Gold Line Extension that will connect us to Pomona and beyond, I am very hopeful and grateful for Los Angeles County and the entire community and the Metro staff and board for all that they do to help provide more efficient services to our residents. They deserve it. And I want to just remember you by saying this, that it's fantastic to see so many of you here, but to remember, Metro is here to stay, alongside with our communities who have been through so much. Rápidamente en español, me gustaría dar unas palabras Soy la supervisora Hilda Solís y represento el primer distrito del condado y también soy una de las directoras de la Junta de Metro. Me da mucho gusto estar aquí hoy para celebrar y dedicar con todos ustedes la estación de LittleTokyo y del Distrito del Arte. Aunque a principios del verano celebramos la apertura de Conector Regional Metro, necesitábamos celebrar este especial comunidad porque estaban tan impactados durante los 3 años. Sufrieron mucho los negocios, pero sabemos que juntos podemos suceder y quiero decir que sí se puede. Adelante entonces. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Solis, for those words. And next, I'd like to introduce our city council person, CD 14. I think everyone knows that it is so important to have a good working relationship with your city council people. So I'd like to bring up Kevin De Leon.
Good morning to each and every one of you. Ohayo gozaimasu. Muy buenos dias. It's an honor to be here to celebrate a new chapter in the history of Los Angeles' oldest neighborhood, LittleTokyo. I want to thank the beautiful voices of Urban Voice Project from Skid Row. They actually sang about 20 songs for us just a few weeks ago at an event we had here on Broadway Street. It's an incredible personal honor to represent this historic, incredible neighborhood. I do want to thank our incredible CEO of Metro, Stephanie Wiggins. Thank you so much for your incredible leadership. We've worked together on numerous occasions, getting some big monies before you got to Metro. I want to thank you as a woman and as a woman of color as well, heading up being the CEO. I want to thank our County Board of Supervisor, Hilda Solis, as well. Thank you very much for your leadership on Metro. Ms. Jackie DuPont Walker, such a beautiful, powerful woman. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, especially for the work that we've done together, on some issues dealing locally in my district. So I want to thank you very much. And I got to also recognize a colleague of mine, such a hard worker and represents us collectively on the Metro Board, and that is a Metro Board, and that's Katie Yarosowski. Katie Yarosowski, thank you very much. This commemoration of this metro station comes more than 150 years after the first Japanese immigrated to the United States, and specifically to Los Angeles, in and around 1869. Just one block down the street, on First Street, we have the first Japanese-American business ever established in the city of Los Angeles back in 1884. That is the Kame Restaurant. During that time, LA had transformed from a very small town, 11,000, to 50,000 residents with about 70 people of Japanese descent in Los Angeles. Due to the very favorable climate, expansive orchards, and growing business opportunities, LA was becoming a destination of opportunity for immigrants from all over the world, not just the Western Hemisphere, but across the Pacific Rim as well as Europe. This is the one community I want to underscore and emphasize. This is the one community in LittleTokyo that connects our downtown center with the east side of Los Angeles, Boyle Heights, right across from the LA River. It ties our city birthplace, just right down Alameda, El Pueblo, just a few blocks to the north of us. And it connects us to some of the oldest neighborhoods in the Northeast, El Sereno, Lincoln Heights, as well as Highland Park. For more than a century, this neighborhood has been LA's most transformational, LA's most transformational progress, along with one of our nation's most historic tragedies, the unrestrained racism of Executive Order 9066 by then President FDR that stripped away the rights of Japanese Americans who lived here during World War II. And many folks know that the majority of our Japanese Americans back in the day didn't live in Gardena, nor in Torrance, or other parts of the South Bay, where many folks live there today, but rather they lived just to the east of us across the LA River in Boyle Heights. LittleTokyo, more than any community in the county, has seen more metro construction than anybody else in the past 20 years. In fact, over the past 20 years, 14 of them have been spent doing construction in LittleTokyo. Now, why do I mention this? Because our supervisor, Ilda Solis, just touched upon this just a few moments ago. Because when the regional connector was in its planning stages, the LittleTokyo community made it very, very clear what they wanted to see out of this project. There was a strong desire to ensure that small businesses were not hurt by the construction, that the community wanted to make sure that the station reflected the values, the norms, the culture of the neighborhood. And they wanted to ensure that the trees, the landscape, and the lighting on the city's sidewalks all fit with their vision of their community. This community made sure that Metro and the city, as its partner, kept their word on the things promised. That steadfast commitment is always looking out for the community as a whole to make sure that the neighborhood stays great. So today, we dedicate the opening of this LittleTokyo Metro Station. And let's not forget the countless lives of individuals and families that have always kept this community united and strong. And let me just say something real quick, because just a few weeks ago, I had some family members who visited me from out of town, college-age family members, and they wanted me to take them all the way to Venice because they wanted to walk the boardwalk. And I replied, I'm not driving all the way to Venice to take you out there. We got a new connector in LittleTokyo. I'm going to drop you off at Museum Drive over in Highland Park, just at the bottom of Mount Washington, and you can take the E line and you can connect it right here in LittleTokyo, and you can take yourself straight over to Santa Monica, get off in Santa Monica, and walk down the street down to Venice. I'm not taking you. Then they called me on the phone and said, can you pick me up? Or can you pick us up? And my reply was, as you would be expected, I'm not getting on the 110 freeway to go down to the 10 freeway to go pick you up. You can get back on that line over in Santa Monica, catch that E-line all the way to LittleTokyo. And in fact, when you're in LittleTokyo, go have, some sushi, go, sake. Even though I don't think they're at that age yet. They can't have sake yet. But go around LittleTokyo. And in fact, they did so. Then they got on, and they asked me, can you guys pick us up in LittleTokyo? So no, I'm not going to pick you up in LittleTokyo. I said, right now, I will pick you up at Museum Drive as soon as I get out of work, unless you want to wait for me after City Hall. And they took it the line and said, how was the experience? They said, it was amazing. It was clean. It was efficient. And they felt safe. I know we've had our challenges on Metro, but those challenges are not unique to the city of LA because they are happening throughout the country. And how we deal with individuals who are severely suffering from severe mental illnesses. But this is so important. And one last point I want to make. I'm not going to state the obvious about today, because today is hellaciously hot, and it's getting hotter, and tomorrow is going to be even hotter. And this is due to extreme weather patterns from our carbon footprint. Carbon dioxide, CO2, which is atmospheric, and carbon dioxide, criteria pollutants, NOx, particulate matter 2.5. It's what we breathe into our lungs every day. That is the pollution. Those are the public health consequences. And the extreme weather patterns, because as we go into October and November, when we have Thanksgiving, folks are going to say, man, it is hot as hell on a Thanksgiving day. Those are due to extreme weather patterns, which are tailpipe. Why this connector, regional connector, and opening up the LittleTokyo station is so critical is because we have to get folks out of their cars, change those behaviors, use public transportation to get from point B to point C across town from the east side all the way to the west side, and we can do it with this rail station right here in LittleTokyo. That's why this is critical as well, for our public health and because of climate change. So make no mistake, the significance of this community, LittleTokyo, and this metro station connecting the different parts of this vast metropolitan region holds an even more important place today than ever before. LA has become the most diverse city on planet Earth, and LittleTokyo remains at the heart of our origin story. It remains the center point of our conversation, the past, the present, as well as the future. To each and every one of you, thank you very much, and have a wonderful and cooler day. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilperson De Leon. Now I'd like to bring up the Chief Executive Officer of Metro, Stephanie Wiggins.
Whew. Thank you, Chris. I'm really delighted to be here, really in celebration of the community for hanging in there with Metro for more than a decade. I want to thank the LittleTokyo and Arts District communities for hosting us. I want to thank Reverend Nobuharu Uzunoai. Uzunoai, right? Is that better, Jim? Uzunoai, Reverend. Thank you for the blessing. I want to thank Supervisor and Metro Director Hilda Solis. She truly has been the champion for the community for this project. And of course, my fellow board members, Jackie DuPont Walker and Director Yaroslavsky, who are with us today. Thank you, Councilman De Leon, for your support for Metro for many years, as well as helping with this project. As you've mentioned, this moment comes a long way. It's been almost 10 years of addressing these challenges and coming up with solutions together, all with an eye on the prize, and that's the opening of the regional connector and this station in particular. We're here today to dedicate this piece of community infrastructure. This is really what equity looks like when it's put into action. It will serve more than 21,000 people each week, and we appreciate all of the hard work that went into building the station. Not only the hard work it took to build the station, but the hard work we undertook together, shaping the station and making sure that it was right for this community. It was incredibly important that Metro respect, listen to, and learn from this neighborhood's residents and businesses as we built this station on this hallowed ground. And let me tell you something, Metro learned a lot. We weren't a great listener at the beginning, Joanne, right? We weren't very good at listening, but we have learned a lot, and Metro is better for it, and the entire LA County is, because we have applied these lessons learned in LittleTokyo to other community stations across the county. This is a day to honor and appreciate those who helped us get it right. So I'd like to express our appreciation to the many community leaders who made significant contributions to ensure that this station would be right for this community and right for our region. First, the Regional Connector Community Leadership Council, LittleTokyo Arts District Station co-chairs, both Chris Ihara and Miguel Vargas. Thank you for your service. To the LittleTokyo Community Council, Kristen Fukushima, Kisa Ito, Midori Mizuhara, Regina Alcazar, and Aaron Paley. We were proud to be a partner and thankful for their cultural and creative acumen. Thank you. To the LittleTokyo Service Center, Eric Nakano's team, Grant Sunu, Mariko Lockridge, and Megan Teramoto, Regina Alcazar, and Evelyn Yoshimura, who preserved and promoted small businesses during construction. Thank you. And to the LittleTokyo Business Association, who advocated for our Business Interruption Fund that supported more than 30 small mom and pop businesses right here in LittleTokyo. Thank you. To the amazing James Okazaki, your engineering acumen, you kept us, come on. You are always honest, James, come on. Thank you, Yukio Karatani, who provided incredible input and expertise to this project. Thanks to JANM, the LittleTokyo Visitor Center, and the Japanese American Community and Cultural Center for their many contributions. And for the Arts District leaders, Laraba, the Arts District, LA BID, SciArc, and many more. Finally, I want to acknowledge our staff and friends who are no longer with us, who worked on this project. Susan Santoro, Ron Drake, Rajni Patel, John Pols, Mark Leland, and Supervisor Gloria Molina. all were big champions. We miss them dearly and have not forgotten their tireless contributions to this project. But most of all, thank you to the community for hosting us during the construction, helping educate us, for us to, with humility, understand the community and its needs, and really demonstrate that equity in infrastructure should be foundational to any project that Metro delivers. I want to thank my delivery team led by Matt Antonelli, our Deputy Chief Program Management, Conan Chung, who's responsible as our Chief Operations Officer. We're already seeing the benefits of this station and what it means to community. Our ridership is up more than 20% during the week and more than 40% on the weekends. And that's because we work together with the community for Regional Connector in LittleTokyo. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you very much, CEO Wiggins. As a community member of LittleTokyo, we really appreciate your acknowledgement that it was hard work and that there were mistakes made, maybe on both sides, but I think we really did come up with the better project. Okay, so we're going to have a few words of welcome, or some people will come up and make some remarks, and then we're going to have some perspectives from the Arts District, Youth, and LittleTokyo. So we're hang in there, everyone. We're rounding the corner. So next I'd like to introduce someone who's no stranger to LittleTokyo. He was the recent Grand Marshal of Nisei Week, so that means something. He's the founding executive director of the LittleTokyo Service Center. He's the founder of the LittleTokyo Historical Society, and he was one of the original founders of the LittleTokyo Community Council. So let's hear it for Bill Watanabe.
This is the celebration of the opening of the Metro Connector. And to me, I think the word connector is sort of the operative term because it connects us here in LittleTokyo to the broader regions, the hinterlands, you might say, of Southern California. And I'm hoping that that connection will help to improve the relationships that we share with our diverse communities. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My parents were farmers in the valley. And back in the 1950s, my parents would drive down to LittleTokyo maybe about once a month to do some shopping. My father would get a haircut, that kind of thing. And back then, if you wanted to get good sushi or tofu, you had to come to LittleTokyo. You couldn't go to, right now you can go to Costco and get this stuff, and it's pretty good. But back then, you had to make the trek down to LittleTokyo. I remember after they would do their shopping, we might go to a restaurant for dinner. If you remember the old Far East Cafe or Sugar Bowl restaurant, those were the places that my parents would go to. And then they make the drive home, probably at nighttime by then. Now, at the same time, in the 1950s, the trolley system here in LA was being phased out. And the decisions were made by higher-ups that LA was going to be a car society with freeways, which was fine as long as you didn't have too many cars and you had enough freeways. But now we have an alternative, and that's this Metro Connector and Metro itself, so that people can ride there and get to LittleTokyo much more easily. The trolley system, I heard, was 5 cents. You could ride almost to, all the distant places for 5 cents. Now, the Metro Connector doesn't quite cost 5 cents, but I do have a tap card, and I'm a senior, and if I ride in the off hours, it's really cheap. And so it's a great system to use. So I'm hoping that more and more people will use it to come to LittleTokyo, come to downtown, and to enjoy the cultural diversity that this neighborhood here represents. I want to congratulate Metro and congratulate to all of us. Thank you.
Okay, another very key partner in all of the construction and design of the metro, of the regional connector, was the Arts District, of course. It's the LittleTokyo Arts District Station. So I'd like to introduce Miguel Vargas, who is the Executive Director of the Arts District Business Improvement District and co-chair for the Regional Connector LittleTokyo Arts District Community Leadership Council. Miguel Vargas.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Miguel Vargas. I am here representing the LittleTokyo and Arts District Neighborhood Council. I am so proud to be here because, like many of you, I have been involved with this project since day one. I remember, it seems just like yesterday, we were all in the Metro conference room and we were learning about this project called the Regional Connector. And after a few months of informational meetings, then we had more meetings to talk about, okay, we're going to select the contractor now. A couple months after that, they started doing utility relocation. And then, close to about a year after utility relocation, then they said, okay, we're going to have a groundbreaking ceremony. And then after that, they had a ceremony to name the tunnel boring machine. What was the name of that? Angeli, I think, or I forget. But then, okay, so then they started tunneling under downtown. And once they get under there, they say, oh my God, there's all this stuff down here. We didn't even know was down here. Project's going to be a little bit longer now. We're going to take a little bit longer now. And then they had the halfway point ceremony. Raise your hand if you went to the halfway ceremony. Raise your hand if you went to the halfway ceremony. You know, I remember, again, that was just like yesterday. We were over here. Mayor Garcetti was doing capoeira behind us, right, if you remember that. And so it's been a long road. We've been at this for, I think, 10, 11 years now, right? And all that time, we've also had the community council meetings. So it's been a group of neighborhood residents and stakeholders, and we were discussing things like Fall Street installment and K-rails and business interruption and the holiday moratorium and street closures, all those unpleasant things that come with construction. So, truthfully, this project has been very disruptive to the neighborhood. Businesses have closed down, some historic buildings were torn down, mature trees were removed. It's been quite a project. So from the neighborhood's perspective, we are very happy that this project is done. But here we are. We have this beautiful 1.9 mile segment of rail. And so we no longer have this fragmented system. We have a complete system that connects all of our metro rail system. And so Los Angeles is with this rail, Los Angeles is very much on our way to having a world-class transit system. So on behalf of the neighborhood and behalf of the community, thank you to Metro. Congratulations. We are so happy this project is done. Thank you so much.
Okay, as was mentioned, this occasion is testament to years of advocacy and public service on behalf of many organizations, leaders, and elected officials. Including Secretary Norman Yoshio Mineta. The LittleTokyo Arts District Station hosts a dedication plaque honoring Secretary Mineta's service. So I'd like to bring to the stage the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Japanese American National Museum, Ann Burroughs, who will share Secretary Mineta's legacy and introduce a video honoring his extraordinary life of public service. Ann Burroughs.
Thank you, Chris. It's so good to be here with all of you, and I'm just so sorry it's hot. But that's not something that we have control over. But it's good to be here. It's good to see all of you, honored guests. And it's such a privilege for me to be here to talk to you about Secretary Norman Y. Mineta's incredible legacy. First of all, I would like to share with you that I bring the greetings of the Mineta family, and they wish that they could be here, of Denny and David and Stuart Mineta, and Bob and Mark Brantner. So, for those of us who were privileged to know Norm, either in person or by reputation, and I think that goes for all of us, will know that in every single respect, except perhaps physically, that Norm was larger than life. He had this enormous heart. He had an enormous vision. and an expansive legacy that touches everyone and everything here today. It's that legacy that reaches into the heart of this community, this LittleTokyo community that he loved and that he helped to stitch together. It's a legacy that reaches into the fabric of this country, which he helped to change for the better with his lifelong service and clear-eyed patriotism. Norm's improbable journey to Washington by way of San Jose and a barracks at the Heart Mountain concentration camp in Wyoming is a testament to the extraordinary strength of his character. The 11-year-old Cub Scout, robbed of his Little League bat, forcibly removed from his boyhood home, and labeled an enemy child by his own country, could have taken a very different path. But instead, he chose a lifetime of public service that left an indelible mark on almost everything that he touched, and certainly on all of us. As he rose in politics, whether as a champion of transportation infrastructure, a co-founder of the Asian Pacific American Caucus, or a driving force behind the movement for redress and the passage of the Civil Liberties Act of 1998, he never gave up the fight to ensure that no other community would experience injustice and humanity that the Japanese American community was forced to endure during World War II. One of the extraordinary things about Norm, but with great humility, was that he always understood the power of his personal story, and he recognized his unique role as an ambassador. And he was relentless, not only in pursuing justice for his own community, but in challenging this country to live up to its very highest ideals. Few understood better than Norm just how imperfect America is. Few had greater conviction that this union could be more perfect, and few worked harder to make it so. As we celebrate the dedication of this station, of this regional connector, in Norm's honor, we've come full circle. It was a project that he envisaged decades ago, and along with the LittleTokyo community, along with local leaders and along with national leaders, that he championed to the very end. He foresaw, along with all of you, just how important it would be for LittleTokyo, how important it would be for LittleTokyo's vibrancy and continued strength, and particularly in those years when other Japan towns around the country were under threat. And of course for Norm, because transportation was the other love of his life, besides the Japanese American community and his family, for him it made such good sense as a signature element of transportation infrastructure. So we are so grateful, all of us, so incredibly grateful to CEO Stephanie Wiggins, to the Metro leadership. We're so grateful to the city and county leaders. We're so grateful also to the LittleTokyo community and to the arts community, the arts district community. And it was through your vigilance and your resilience that you were able to ensure that what we have here today truly serves the needs of LittleTokyo and truly embodies the values which are so unbelievably powerful. But we're also enormously grateful to Supervisor Hilda Solis, who carried the baton to the finish line and who closed that circle to ensure that the regional connector would be dedicated to Norm, forever recognizing the mark he made on LittleTokyo and the country. And I know that Norm would be so proud. He would be so proud of all of you, of what we've achieved, but also that you've been able to birth something that really embodies promises of great hope for LittleTokyo and for Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Here, standing in front of the LittleTokyo Arts District station, we see the platform, stairs, artwork, and much more. But it is what we don't see that makes this moment unique. We don't see the businesses that were removed to make way for the regional connector. Wayland Brewery is in the basement of a high-rise building at 5th and Figueroa. Senior Fish, they moved west to 2nd and Main. And Spice Table, the brainchild of star chef Brian Ng, reopened as Cassia on 7th Street in Santa Monica. We can only hope that they will one day choose to move back to LittleTokyo. On May 3rd, 2022, we also lost one of the giants of the Japanese American community, as mentioned, former U.S. Secretary of Transportation Norman Mineta. In his lifetime, Secretary Mineta had been a businessman, a mayor, a congressman, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, U.S. Secretary of Transportation. He was also chair of the Japanese American National Museum Board of Trustees, as was mentioned. As one of the first Asian Americans to serve in a high-profile government post, he broke racial barriers, yet never lost sight of lessons emboldened in his family wartime experience and in the experience of more than 120,000 Americans of Japanese ancestry. The LittleTokyo Business Association today recognizes Mineta for his role in advancing the vision of the regional connector, but more than that, we want to acknowledge his unwavering and long-standing support for this community. In June 2022, LTBA members hit upon the idea of dedicating the LittleTokyo Arts District Station to him. We received support from many organizations, and at this time I would like to read a few names of the folks that are here today. Mr. Haru Takehana, President of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Southern California. Mr. Takehana, can you please stand? Joanne Kumamoto, President of the LittleTokyo Legacy Foundation. Michael Truong, Executive Director of the Chinese American Museum. Michael. Kristen Fukushima, Managing Director of the LittleTokyo Community Council. Kristen. Francis Collado, Chair, Board of Directors, LittleTokyo Community Council. And of course, Ann Burroughs, President and CEO, Japanese American National Museum. Please stand. We also have Rick Noguchi, that used to work for Ann, President and CEO, California Humanities, former Chief Operating Officer of the Japanese American National Museum. Rick, where are you? Okay. Those are the folks that helped to make it happen. But we also want to pay tribute to the late LA County Supervisor Gloria Molina, who led the way alongside the LTBA to create the Business Interruption Fund. I'll pause for a minute. That helped save mom and pop businesses during construction. We thank Supervisor Hilda Solis, the Metro Board of Directors, and others who took this journey with us. Here's to an even brighter future for LittleTokyo, LA's newest transportation hub. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Our next speaker is James Okazaki. James was introduced, I think he was acknowledged by CEO Wiggins. He is the he's the retired Assistant General Manager of the Los Angeles Department of Transportation. And he's a board member of the LittleTokyo Community Council. He is like a dogged attender at meetings, and he just totally gets into your stuff. And we really appreciate him because he is so dogged. So the one and only James Okazaki.
Thank you, Chris. I heard people refer to this project as something that happened 10, maybe 11 years ago. But I want you to know, all of you, this project was envisioned more than 40 years ago. In 1977, the Los Angeles County Transportation Commission was developed, right? That was organized required by the state. In 1980, the first sales tax, 1/2 cent sales tax, was passed by the voters of LA County by 2/3 majority, right? That was what was required. In the 1980s, when they first started to build the Long Beach to Pasadena Blue Line construction, there was some controversy because they only wanted to bring it up to the Pico station, while Metro, or the RTD at the time, which was established in 1964, was building their heavy rail system from Union Station to 7th and Metro. Anyway, that created some controversy, but they did take that Blue Line station from Long Beach, from the Pico station all the way to the Metro Center. So it was connected. So you could get to Union Station by taking the light rail, then taking the 2-mile subway alignment to Union Station. But it was envisioned by LACTC members as I was working at the city, developing alternatives how to get into Pasadena. So several of the alignments came through LittleTokyo to get to Union Station. In fact, there were some alignments that they're not coming to LittleTokyo. They were just going straight into Pasadena, bypassing Union Station, but politics played a game. The city councilman representing the Union Station area, who also represented LittleTokyo and East LA, said, swing it through here, through Union Station. So one of the alignment came down 2nd Street. So in the late 80s, even before the completion of the not the exposition line, the Blue Line to Long Beach, there was an alignment that came through LittleTokyo and went into Union Station to go to Pasadena. However, subways are very expensive. You know, it used to be $500 million a mile, then they went up to $1 billion. Now I'm seeing estimates of $2 billion a mile to build a subway alignment. That's very, very expensive. That's one of the reasons that LACTC wanted to build light rail system. They wanted to build it at grade. But when you come through downtown, you can't build it at grade on the street. You have to come a subway. But that's why the link from 7th and Metro to Union Station was deferred for 20 years. It was only in the mid-2000s that people at Metro said, hey, we passed Measure Prop A, and Prop C was passed in 1990. Then we passed Measure R in 2008. And in 2016, we taxed ourselves another 1/2 cent sales tax. In 2016, we have 4 1/2 cent sales taxes, or for a total of 2 cent sales tax to build our rail system. Although the caveat was the local jurisdictions get some money to improve their highways and also to develop their transit system. Bike lanes and other streetscape projects were funded, security and so forth. But anyway, Mayor Bradley's vision and Supervisor Kenny Hahn's vision of having a city of LA be like any other city in the world needed to have a rail system. And they spurred the funding and lobbying for everybody on the board of LACTC initially, then MTA, to fund the 4 sales tax initiatives that now funds the largest public works project in the country. Locally funded funding to build our project. So when we go to Washington, we are over-leveraged with our local funding to get federal funding. That's why we're successful. Is that right, Stephanie? All right. Anyway, I want to thank initially the people of LA County who voted their 1/2 cent sales tax every time, 2016, the last one, to fund rail projects. It's wonderful. But we also want to thank the planning and programming people at Metro staff who worked with us. You know, originally, Metro promised us a subway station at 3rd and Santa Fe. That was the extension of the red line. Then we were able to get them to wiggle a little bit before they went to East LA on the Gold Line extension from Union Station to East LA. We wiggled it onto next to Janum on the mangrove site. But that wasn't totally into Little Tokyo. Maybe it was in the Arts District, but it wasn't in Little Tokyo yet. We needed to cross Alameda. The regional connector gave us an opportunity, but Metro wanted to give it to us at grade. At grade, because they didn't want to tear down the old station. They have made a lot of investment for that. But with political support, names being mentioned earlier, like Norm Mineta, but also Senator Inoue, gave us the political and monetary support that helped us to get Metro convinced that we needed a subway. In fact, Metro even took out a subway station in the financial district to give us a subway station here. So we now have 3 subway stations that are fantastic. They're just as beautiful as the Metro Rail Red Line, Purple Line stations. Beautiful stations. If you haven't seen it, please go. But I wanted to say, we want to thank the planning and programming part of Metro staff, which did a great job of listening to the community and gave us the station and the subway alignment that we asked for. I also want to thank the construction unit of Metro. And besides the contractor, Skanska Trailer, who helped and became part of our community in giving us great construction, very collaborative, and they were our friends. They worked with us to mitigate the impacts of all their construction. So we were able to live through 9 years of physical construction. COVID has something to do with helping us for 3 years because, nobody was here. But still, we were very thankful of Metro construction. But we also want to thank the community in Little Tokyo, the businesses. And I do appreciate the Business Interruption Fund giving us $2 million to help the small businesses survive through the construction. But I want to tell you, Supervisor Solis and Stephanie Wiggins, we need to look at changing the Business Interruption Fund guidelines to help more mom and pop businesses because we did lose businesses during the construction of Metro Rail. But anyway, I want to thank everybody who's here today, who supported this project, and congratulate yourselves. Thank you.
Okay, James, you took all of Gabriel's time. Not really. Just kidding. Okay, Gabriel Newmark is a landscape architect and founder of Swamp Pink Landscape Architecture and co-founder of Industrial Green. So we are very happy to have Gabrielle to speak a little bit about her role and experience in the Arts District.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to say it's amazing to be here finally with the opening, the community opening, and thank you to everybody who had a hand in this. I'm going to speak a little bit, I was asked to speak a little bit more on a personal level and personal connections that were created through this geographic connector project. I'd like to begin thanking Jean Marie Hans, who worked tirelessly as our community liaison, whose patience is epic. And I can also call a friend through this project. The Arts District and our neighboring communities are incredibly meaningful to me as a third-generation Angelino. My grandfather was born on Bunker Hill, my mom in City Terrace, and I in Mid-City. In the 80s, my mom worked as an artist in the Arts District, and in 2011, I moved to the neighborhood, living there for many years. I still continue my community activism and environmental stewardship in the Arts District via the 2 boards I sit on, Los Angeles River Artists and Business Association, known as LARABA, and Arts District Community Council LA, known as ADCCLA. I also co-founded the organization Industrial District Green with Catherine McNenny, where we plant and maintain trees in Skid Row and the Arts District. As a landscape architect, I've always been dedicated to community-based greening projects and the connectivity of these projects through the environment, watershed planning, and social issues. I give this brief history of myself and family because, yes, the regional connector brings together communities through geography, but it has also brought together very diverse communities through art, environmental kinship, and social connections. Within these elements is how I've had the opportunity to assist in a small way by way of my passion for connections. On the level of art and social connections, I sat on the tail end of the Metro Regional Connector Art Panel, which was a great and interesting experience. But of greater importance to me was an introduction I helped make between Audrey Chan and the late but forever great General Jeff and Catherine McNenny. Audrey and I had been communicating about the Arts District panel when I mentioned to her that this station was also for Skid Row. With this initial introduction, General and Audrey forged a beautiful working relationship, which resulted in an amazing Skid Row panel representing incredible activists in that community. Sorry, I don't want to get emotional. General Jeff was a good friend. I can only speak on my own feelings about this Skid Row panel, but it is indescribable how much it means to me having this amazing community represented and General Jeff honored in Audrey's work. On an environmental level, I had the opportunity to develop a beautiful friendship with Yukio Karatani, sorry your name, from the LittleTokyo community. This friendship was based upon our mutual love, respect, and collective fight for the protection and planting of trees in our respective communities. It was either Jean Marie or General Jeff that originally introduced Yukio and I, but we would create our own friendship, supporting each other through conversations discussing trees on this Metro project. I will also hold sacred how we coordinated with each other on tree locations based on Yukio's amazing hand-drafted community tree plan. This Metro project has brought together many unique communities, each proud of our respective boundaries and cultural heritage. And I appreciate and am honored by these connections many of us have made through our opportunities to listen and truly hear each other and work together as a larger community without boundaries on this regional connector project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gabrielle. And next we have a few words of comments by Mani Sefas Luz. She's of the Metro Youth Council. She's a student at the Girls Academic Leadership Academy. And, you know, perhaps someone like Manny will be riding this train more than any of us. So let's bring up Mani Sefas Luz.
Hello, my name is Mani Sefas Luz. I am a senior at the Girls Academic Leadership Academy here in Los Angeles. I'm honored to be in LittleTokyo today as a representative of the Metro Youth Council. The goal of the Youth Council is to develop the capacity of young people to participate and engage in Metro's projects, programs, and initiatives. As a member of the Youth Council this year, it's been an honor to serve my community with my fellow Youth Council members, and we've learned about all that goes into Metro and also the role of our voices in Metro's future. This new connectivity in downtown Los Angeles allows students like me to easily ride throughout the city and county and allows us to discover new neighborhoods and appreciate the diversity of LA City. LittleTokyo and the Arts District is what makes Los Angeles such a unique city with its distinct and diverse culture and history. I hope you join me in exploring the system. This new connection will help youth get around, either to school, a job, or to their favorite destinations. There's so much in the city to explore, and Metro is making it easier than ever to do so. Thank you, and congratulations to Metro.